BBC Radio Solent.
Have you heard about the so-called Croydon cat killer? This is a very disturbing story, this. Some 400-odd animals, mainly cats, found in an awful state or indeed found dead after having been killed. And the suggestion that a lot of these cases are linked, hence why there is this name, the Croydon cat killer. It started in Croydon about 3 years ago. It appears, if you read the front of one of our local newspapers, that there may well have been a case in Southampton. We're going to talk this morning about the so-called Croydon cat killer. Have you heard about this? It is, I have to say, it's a very disturbing story, and you may find some what we're going to talk about pretty distasteful, to say the least. If you've seen the front of the Daily Echo today, cat killer hits city is their big splash headline, with a sort of a picture of a cat walking along a rooftop. And they say underneath, decapitated itching pet linked to deaths of more than 450 moggies around the UK. So what is this? Well, this is from the Croydon Advertiser, so the local newspaper that has been following this we will, for the purposes of this, we will say person, the Croydon cat killer. That's what he or she has been dubbed. Originally known as the Croydon cat killer, thought to have killed around 400 to 500 cats and small animals over the last 3 years or so. The killings basically first started in the South London area around Croydon in about October 2015. However, in the last 3 years, animals in areas including Surrey, Manchester, Sheffield and Birmingham thought to have been killed by the culprit. There are various different police forces working on this, and it would appear that the first animal that may be linked to others, I stress may, has been found in Southampton. Well, leading not so much the investigation, but maybe the public awareness on this one is an organisation called SNARL. You will hear from them next. They're an organisation that basically they call themselves the South Norwood Animal Rescue Liberty, SNARL for short, and they have been tracking these cases and trying to raise public awareness so that cat owners and actually rabbit owners as well are aware of what may have been going on. You will hear from the co-founder of SNARL, a chap called Tony Jenkins, in just a moment. And as always, welcome your calls on this. 0808 100 3800. And hello, good morning. Just gone 10 past 11, and we're going to talk now about the so-called Croydon cat killer. Whether or not it is just one person or a group of people or not, well, it remains to be seen, but it's an awful case. Over the last 3 years, between 400 and 500 cats and small animals, foxes, pet rabbits, have been killed and their bodies left in plain sight. No sort of hiding the bodies. Sometimes the bodies left near where the cats disappeared from. The attacker, first dubbed the Croydon cat killer, because it's believed the killing started in the South London area around October 2015. Why are we talking about this morning? Well, a cat in a similar state has been found in Southampton over the last few days, and the suggestion is that maybe this is linked to other cases. Just before we came on air this morning, I spoke to Tony Jenkins. Now, he's the co-founder of an organisation called SNARL, South Norwood Animal Rescue Liberty. They are an organisation that for the last 3 years have been trying to raise public awareness about this, to try and stop more cats meeting the same fate. And I asked him about this latest case.
We've seen the photographs, and the injuries appear very consistent with injuries we see on other animals that are killed mainly across the London area. You know, it just ticks a lot of boxes. We can't be certain if it's just one person, because but pattern of killings are still doable by one person travelling up and down the country.
Do you think this is getting the attention that it deserves?
Yes, I guess. Yes and no. I mean, there could always be more publicity. You know, we need everybody to be aware of the case, because it's only through community vigilance that we're ever likely to get a chance to catch him.
The numbers now are pretty awful. Something like 450 cat mutilations. Yeah. I mean, it's just You can't really get your head around it, can you?
Can I just make it clear that it's not just cats? He's been targeting foxes. This time of year, we've had quite a number of fox cubs being found with the head cleanly cut off. The foxes, domestic rabbits as well, are a big target. We've had a large number of those, unfortunately. So it's not just cats, and there's just no pattern that we've had pedigree cats down to just normal moggies, young kittens up to 19, 20-year-old cats. There's just no pattern.
And what about times of day, Tony?
Most of the attacks appear to happen overnight. Although we've had a few that have happened during the day, but we've also had a number where cats have gone missing for a certain amount of time, for a week or two, and then suddenly reappear close to where they lived with, in a mutilated state. But the mutilations aren't consistent with the amount of time that the cat's been missing. So it suggests that sometimes he abducts them and takes them away and then brings them back sometime later. And in terms of disappearances, we can't be certain when cats actually disappear, but the vast majority of the bodies are usually found overnight. So, typically the cat's last seen at 9, 10, 11 o'clock when people go to bed, and then the cat's found sort of early hours of the morning.
And what would your advice be to pet owners now?
Well, quite simply, keep your cats indoors, particularly at night. If you can, if you've got rabbits in a hutch, maybe consider bringing the hutches in.
And just on this last case in Southampton, from what we understand, the cat wasn't chipped, so we don't know who the owners are.
Not as yet, no. We've put a call out, a description. Hopefully someone in the area is missing a cat. That's where we do the leafleting campaign, because that also helps raise awareness. So we've currently got people in the immediate area of where the killing was, putting leaflets through people's letterboxes. We're about to do a timeline, which sort of shows the most recent killings, perhaps over the last 10 days. And we published that, and we sort of asked for, is it possible, does anyone know of someone who may have visited all of these locations in the last 10 days? By way of, someone must know something somewhere. Or, it might be someone whose work pattern might think, well, hang on, he's been to all of those places or close by. I wonder if it's him. I just don't know. It's a desperate help, cry for someone to possibly come forward with any kind of information.
That's Tony Jenkins, the co-founder of the South Norwood Animal Rescue Liberty, speaking to me earlier. They're trying to coordinate some sort of public awareness on this. It's a horrible story, isn't it? It's just utterly, utterly grim. Between 400 and 500 cats. And as he says, rightly, it's not just cats, the vast majority of cats, but also some rabbits as well. This is what Hampshire Police have told us this morning. They have said, when asked about the latest incident, this was reported to us at 9:22 p.m. on the 6th of June by a veterinary centre. The animal was not chipped, so the owner has not been identified. And the vet centre have already provided details of this incident to SNARL. Police are not investigating this incident. So the owner, whoever the owner is not aware that maybe this is their animal. Thank you for your comments already on this. Barry, who's in Calmore, says people need to look after their cats. Cats should be kept indoors like dogs. What do people expect? Not this, surely. Darren, who's in Hedge End, says, oh gosh, Darren, he says our rabbit was attacked and left headless in February or March 2016. Gosh, do get in touch this morning on this one, 0808 100 3800. You can also text 81333 Solent. Thanks for all your comments on this so-called Croydon cat killer and the suggestion that, the same thing could have happened in Southampton on June the 6th. This one from Steve. Thanks for your email, Steve. Good morning, Sasha. He says, I very much doubt that it's only one person killing these animals. There are different types of people, those who love cats, those who dislike cats, and those who are prepared to take extreme action against cats and other animals they dislike. I hope the culprit is caught soon, although I doubt it'll take police priority. There are actually the different police forces around the country that have decided to open cases to investigate this. The reason that some are suggesting it's one person is because of the geographically there have never been two cases, or it's not believed there have been two cases that have happened in different places at the same time. And there is a suggestion that there could be a route of where one person could be going and the travel times add up. However, that is purely speculation, because this one at the moment is, well, more questions than answers, to say the least. Your thoughts this morning, 0808 100 3800. Are you keeping your pet in tonight? 0808 100 3800.